Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whoever you support. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Let's get a bit more light in here. Oh, it's a bit much. There we go. How are we all doing, everybody? It is Sunday morning, and I've got a big day of YouTubing today. Not that you guys care, because it's my job. So when people go, oh, it's the weekend for a YouTuber is when it all happens. Today we have got this show, cheeky hour and 15 minutes, followed by at 4:15 p.m. Brentford versus Man City. We're going to do a live watch along. Why not, eh? Why not? We'll do a live watch along. And for all those people who keep coming into my comment section and saying, why are you talking about Chelsea or City? Well, it's a football channel, Football Heritage. So we've got Man City away at Brentford, the live watch along here at 4:15. And then at 7:30, we've got the Spurs review, where tonight I'm going to be joined by Danny the Bun Kiriakou. Brian Daigle is joining me, and a few others who are tentative at the moment, but we'll see. What I can tell you is this. I'm sure we all feel the same. Another bloody international week. What's going on? All these international weeks, and I don't care for it. I mean, I don't mind it, but we want football. We want club football. So what I have got is a series coming up for you guys this week of 10 different content creators called The Season So Far With. And I've got people lined up like Ricky Sachs. He's going to give us his view on Tottenham for an hour. We have got Lawless, who's going to give us Arsenal for an hour. We've got Kaz from Man United, Lawless from West Ham. So I've got loads of different people lined up. Daps from Man City. So I've got lots of different people lined up that we're gonna get you. And Wolfie as well. Wolfie will do the Forest one, and Charlie will do the Chelsea one, and yada 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 yada. And we'll have a little check-in, see what's going on at all these clubs. So hang on, what's going on? What's Just Joe sent me? Hang on, what's he said? Oh, he says it's, and he sent me something, and it says it's private. What's Joe winding me up with? So yeah, look, here we are. It is the 5th of October. How are we all doing? Smash the like button, say hello, be nice in the chat. Remember, it's football, and the poll is a nice and simple one today. So on the poll, I said here, Cudas, tell Vanerven someone else for man of the match. Now, for me, there was only one man of the match. So it was almost right, I'm going to put Cudas in, and then I'm not sure who else to put in after that. I don't think anyone else stood out for me. So I think that the majority of you feel the same. So far, just under 100 votes, 92% have said Cudas. But hey, listen, there's the poll. Whack the button. Adobe, if people want to vote for Adobe, you can say Adobe as well. Not for me, but I thought he had a very good game. And we're going to go through each one of the players as well as we go throughout the show. But you lot, don't be shy. For anyone that wants to buy me a coffee, the Buy Me a Coffee link is there. For anybody that would like to join Match Bingo, the QR code will come around in a second. It's good fun. I won on it last week. First time I won on it in 3 weeks, but it was good fun. I won due to a last-minute penalty in a Spanish league game. Random, just so random, but it was good. So if you haven't, join Match Bingo, and they give you 200% of your stake when you first start. So it's a good laugh, and the guys over there are very, very good. So Tottenham. I'll tell you what. Before we do anything, should we have a little look at let's have a butchers at the Premier League table, because there's been a lot of noise, hasn't there? There has been a lot of noise. Oh, the negativity has been overwhelming this last week or two. Overwhelming. Oh, we drew with Bodo. Oh, the sky is going to fall. The sky is going to fall. We drew with Bodo. But look, yes, the lowest we can end this weekend. The lowest we can end this weekend is 4th. If my math works out, Crystal Palace playing, yeah. So the lowest we can end this weekend is 4th. If I had said to you, the end of last season, the beginning of this season, after 7 Premier League games, going into a second international break, we're going to have played 10 games, 11 if you count PSG. We're going to have lost 1, right? We're going to have lost 1. We're going to be sitting 3rd in the Premier League table. Only 2 teams have conceded less than us. That is Crystal Palace and Arsenal. And only, if I'm not wrong, only 2 teams have scored more than us, and that is Arsenal and City. If I had offered that to you, yeah, if I had offered that to you, you would have all bitten my hand off, right? Now, it's difficult, right? Because after 7 league games, you talk about league tables, and they change throughout the season. I don't expect Spurs to just cement a top 4 place all year. I don't. I've said that. I've been very clear. I think Tottenham will finish 6th. But right now, what is there not to like? 4 wins out of 7, 2 draws, 1 defeat. We've scored 13 goals. So we're averaging just under 2 goals a game at the moment. And 5 goals conceded in 7. What's that? 0.8 a game? Somebody who's better at maths will tell me 0.8, 0.85, something like that. Somebody in the chat. Where are all my stat people? Somebody will give me the stat. So when you look at that, it's been a very good start. We are 7 unbeaten across 3 competitions, and I don't understand. I don't understand how so many people are at the moment. At the moment, what I'm getting is loads of people going, "Oh, he's had it easy." I'm thinking, hang on, Brighton away, City away, West Ham away. We never win there. Leeds away, hadn't lost at home for 14 months. Villarreal in the Champions League are a decent football team. I feel like we can't just turn around, can we? Right, and say, and again, agendas have got to agenda. You can see, I could tell you exactly who's going to say bad. Look, like this, top 4 is pointless if we win nothing. Really, we finished 17th last year, and this person thinks that if we get top 4, it's pointless. Again, I don't know how anybody can call themselves a fan and think that if Spurs were to finish top 4, 5, 6, that it's a bad year. We finished 17th. There's a huge gap. First of all, if you're 17th, you've got to get to mid-table. Then if you're mid-table, you've got to get... What on earth are we doing? So look, for me, very good start. Injuries as well. I mean, we've done all this with injuries. Thomas Frank has not once used injuries as an excuse. He hasn't talked about Maddison or Kulu or Solanke or Mawani. He's not talked about Dragashin being out. He's not talked about any of these players being out. He's just getting on with his job, and he's making it work. Well, Phil, I think the interesting thing for me, good morning, buddy. I think the interesting thing for me here is, oh, hang on, that one. There we go. I think the interesting thing for me with this, mate, is when do we win at Brighton? When do we win at West Ham? Like, we don't win at these places. Right? We've gone to those 2 clubs, for example, and taken 4 points from 6. Right? When do Leeds lose at home? We've taken 3 points there. Man City, one of the best away records in the country. We won there. And yet it's constantly, it's been easy. I genuinely, I think people look at the name of the club, and I don't think they actually go and do their homework. And that's a big issue, I think, with football fans, right? That's a big issue, I think, with football fans. Because, as I said, Leeds United yesterday, that's a tricky game. That's a very tricky game. And I was quietly impressed with Leeds, and I don't think they'll go down. I do think, by the way, if in a minute I get a bacon sandwich, please don't judge me if I eat it. It's been a busy morning. I'm getting a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea, so please don't judge me. Look, 4 away games in the league so far, 10 points out of 12. I mean, I genuinely thought, right, that the whole fan base right now would be going, yeah, what a bloody good start. What a bloody good start. And everyone's got to have there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Listen, we are not, I've said this before, we are not going to play lovely free-flowing football. We do not have the footballers to do that. We do not have the footballers to do that. We can talk all day long about it. If you do not have the footballers to play that way, you are not going to play that way. That's the basics of football, isn't it? Right? Why do these players that play lovely football, the first thing they do when they go to a club is they go and buy technical ball players. Why? So they can play their style of play. You can't just rock up with Palinia and Bentonors and Bergvals and go on, tick-a-tacker, play lovely football. But I think we've done some really good stuff. I think yesterday we had some really good passages of play. I thought we had some really, really good passages of play yesterday. Some lovely threaded through balls from Cudas, from Xavi Simmons. Look at the goal, for example. Intel did really well, getting the ball shifted at his feet. That'll give him confidence. And I'm just shocked. Like we saw how bad we were, what he's done in such a short space of time. He even said it yesterday. I don't know if you all read the interview he did with Ali Gold yesterday. And he said it. Listen, before you do anything, before we look at style, you have got to be resilient. He kept saying it, didn't he? Resilient. Resilient. You have got to be organized. You've got to be resilient. You've got to be hard to beat. We get that. And then our fans, they don't like that either. I think he's done the exact right thing. He's realized, right, what do we need to do in order to be a recognized team that other teams don't want to play? Well, first of all, let's be hard to beat. Rule 101. Rule 101 of football management, right? Be hard to beat. And what are Tottenham? We are very hard to beat. And I couldn't believe, I can't believe the difference from this year to last year. We are difficult to beat. Look how many crosses came into our box yesterday from Leeds. In years gone by, they end up being goals, don't they? Some of them end up being goals in years gone by. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is lovely. You are loved very much. Right? Please don't judge me. Let me just, please, I'm starving, people. Don't judge me. Exactly. Oh, that is a bloody good bacon sandwich, that. This is exactly what I said. The first thing Frank will do when he comes in, everyone going, oh, he's rubbish. He's not won anything. This stupid, he's not won anything narrative. He's not won anything like Tottenham have won 100 trophies in the last 10 years. He came in, red sauce, by the way, never brown sauce for anyone that's asking. Never brown sauce. And if that wasn't good enough, Mr. Right, there we go. Look, I think he's done a brilliant job. I truly do. Listen, are we sitting there, right? Are we sitting there going, oh my God, we're entertained? And it's getting me off my seat. No, but I can't remember when we were. I don't remember where we were. And there's this revisionism. There seems to be this revisionism that apparently the last few years we've played like that. The last few years has been some of the toughest football I've had to watch as a Spurs fan. Right? Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely. He did. Absolutely. He came in and went, what can't Spurs do? They can't defend. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make them hard to beat. Boom. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to concede goals, people. That doesn't mean we're not going to concede goals. Right? Every club concedes goals. Every club. But only 2 teams have conceded less. And those 2 are Arsenal, who have the best defence in the country, and Crystal Palace, who are bloody well organised. They're the only 2 teams that have conceded less goals than us. State of this bloke, by the way. What a state of Perchy. By the way, Perchy and I are playing a little football manager series against each other. And at the moment, I'm above him in the league and he doesn't like it. Tell the truth, Perchy. Tell the truth. It's okay. It's a safe space. Tell the truth. Look, I think it's good. I think that hard to beat. By the way, who saw this? Who saw this yesterday? That stat. 1 second. This is a bloody good sandwich. Right. Spurs are the only team not to have conceded a goal in the last 15 minutes of Premier League games. Sorry, of all games. We're the only club not to have conceded a goal in the last 15 minutes of a match in 10. But people don't want that. People mock that. Oh, but the football's not great to watch. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, when a corner kick comes in, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about Vicario in a minute. But I don't get scared by our defence. I get scared by the keeper. We'll talk about that. Rob, stop this, mate. Stop this. Rob, I'm going to say this with all due respect. We all know you love Ange. We can see you're not a Spurs fan. Every one of your comments is alluding to Ange. Stop it. It's boring. Spurs have won 1 trophy in 17 years. We are not a club that win a trophy every single year. This whole argument that no season can be good if you don't win something is absolutely bonkers, right? We are not the best club in the country. We don't have the biggest wages. We don't spend the most money. We are not just going to... I don't think you do, Rob. I've not seen you say anything positive. You loved Ange. You appeared on my channel when Ange appeared, and now you can't say anything nice about Frank. You back everything that Ange did when he lost week in, week out, but you can't rate Frank. It's madness, man. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, you're still on it, but everything you talk... Right, here you go. This trophy argument, let's put it to bed right now. Absolutely, mate. I see these people a mile off, mate. But do you know what? I always know. So on my phone, I get an alert telling me so-and-so has commented on your live stream or in your comment section. Get down, Stanley. Right? So-and-so has commented. As soon as I see the name, I know the comment. Exactly the same. I know on the Spurs 5, I know who is going to do their best to downplay Spurs. I know when I go on a panel show who is going to do the best to downplay Spurs. I know in the chat right now who's going to do their best to downplay Spurs because they can't get over that the manager went. It's weird. As I said, I like Frank. If Frank got sacked tomorrow and a new manager comes in, that's my manager for the foreseeable until he starts doing badly, right? That's my manager. When they start doing badly, if I don't want them in, I don't want them in. But it feels like many people are waiting for it to fail. Get down. It feels like many people are waiting for it to fail. Almost like I told you, 1 defeat in all competitions. We got 1 defeat in 11. And look at the meltdown after Bodo Glimt. Look at the meltdown. Meltdowns everywhere. Look at people now going, yeah, if we finish 4th or 5th, if you don't have a trophy, it don't mean anything. How can it not mean anything? We just finished 17th. 16th is an improvement. We could finish 16th and it's better than last season. Let's start giving this manager some of the praise he deserves, right? 3rd in the league. He is above Chelsea. He is above United. He is above City, right? He is above Eddie Howe. He is above Unai Emery. He is above Ange Postecoglou. He is above whoever, Marco Silva, David Moyes. He's above all of these managers. All of these managers. He's above. We still have fans that don't seem to like it. So what is it you want? If you want entertaining football and nothing else, let's go and get Bielsa. Let's go and get Bielsa. There you go. Bielsa. And sorry, I'm not going to apologise for eating a sandwich on stream, by the way. I'm so hungry. All right. Let's go and get Bielsa. And we'll be wide open. We'll concede loads of goals, lose loads of games. And then people will be going, oh, Bielsa, look how many games he's lost. Madness. Let me ask, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can get some good answers in the chat. What is it that you want from your football team? And don't just say trophies. It's such an easy answer. What is it that you want as a fan? What is it that you want? I'd love to know. Because I got people telling me, oh, we played better football last year. I'm watching us get ripped apart every game last year, and people are going, we played better. How can you play better? Yeah, you're right. Philip, you're right. We've got a manager who's never been sacked, right? Who's done what a great job he did at Brentford. And the argument I hear is, what did he win there? What was he meant to win there? That is like saying, let's have a look at the league table, right? That is like saying, Scotty Parker, good manager. Yeah, but what did he win at Burnley? Well, what are you going to win at Burnley? Like, you're not meant to win anything at Burnley. You're Burnley. No offense. Yeah, losing 26 games in all competitions is a genius. Isn't it funny? Thomas Frank's got 9 first-team injuries right now. Hasn't moaned about it once, and we've only lost 1 game. Perchy, bang on. Consistency and to not be beaten every week. Consistency, not to be beaten every week. I don't want to go into every game. I don't want to go into every game going, we ain't winning this. Absolutely. Mark said, I want us to be competitive in every competition we play in. I want to go to games and see us structured. Jordan said, as a gooner, I don't know what Spurs fans are. I don't get it either, mate. I don't get it. But hopefully it's the minority now. Hopefully it's the minority. There are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be ups and downs, guys. We're not just going to not lose every week. Defeats will come. They will. Look at Liverpool. 10 days ago, everyone's talking about them being invincible. They've just lost 3 games on the bounce. Liverpool have lost 3 games. Tottenham have lost 1. Andy saying, at this stage, I want nothing else with what we've got. All right. Yeah. He's doing well. Sure, but when you're talking about that, play to win trophies. I mean, that sentence in itself is a bit weird. Play to win trophies. There are only X amount of trophies a year, and we don't have the best squad. Now, we were the favourites for the Europa League. We're in the Champions League this year. We're not the favourites. We're not the favourites to win the Premier League. We're not the favourites to win the FA Cup. And we're not the favourites to win the League Cup. Absolutely, Tyree. Absolutely. No, you're not listening. Again, people like this don't listen. Sure. But how many people can win a trophy? How many people can win a trophy? Are we saying that whilst winning a trophy, nothing else at the football club matters? So it doesn't matter that no young players are being coached. It doesn't matter that you lose every single week in the league. It doesn't matter that there's unrest. It doesn't matter that players want to... So none of that matters because you lifted a trophy. So when Wigan got relegated, it didn't matter because they won a trophy. Birmingham won a trophy. What were they like? Steven Gerrard wins trophies. Who wants Steven Gerrard at the club? Surely there's got to be a little bit of There's got to be a bit of nuance in that thinking, hasn't there? If we lived in such a binary world where it's only about lifting a trophy. Now, listen, I want trophies. I want trophies as much as you lot want trophies. I also understand how it works. I also understand, like many people in the chat do, Tottenham Hotspur have never been a team that win trophies year in, year out. Never, ever, ever in our history have we been that club. Absolutely, FC. Sorry, need a just a quick bite. Bear with me. I'll tell you what. I think that's the best bacon sandwich I've ever had. So this is what these people do. The hypotheticals. 4th every year and no trophy. Or mid-table and a trophy. So here, let me explain, right? Perchy will remember this. Many of you remember this. I actually did some homework and dug into how many teams win trophies that finish in the bottom half of leagues. Right? This is true. This is true. And of the last 120 trophies won across Champions League, Europa League, Premier League, FA Cup, and League Cup, I think it was those four. Was it those four? Only 10 of those 120 teams finished in the bottom half of the table. What does that tell you? It tells you that the better teams normally win the trophies, don't they? Like that's math. That's fact. Being in the bottom half and winning a trophy is the anomaly. It's not the norm. So when people go, oh, where would you rather finish? Well, first of all, I never want to finish mid-table for any reason. No, I don't want to finish mid-table at all. But if you're telling me to do that, my team have to finish 17th and lose 22 games, no, I don't want that. Price, bang on. Bang on. Bang on. So what we're saying here is people like Rob who don't get it because they're Ange fans, they're not Spurs fans. Absolutely. Why aren't these teams winning trophies year in, year out? Teams that always finish in a bottom half. Why are they not winning trophies year in, year out? Because it's the anomaly. Sean always brings up a really good stat. Something like 95% of the trophies are won by the top 4 or 5 or whatever it is. Right? And that's unfortunately the truth. Every year, right? Who do we think the favourites are? Let's have a look. Let's go on to odds checker. Premier League title odds. Here we go. Let's have a look at odds checker. Premier League title odds. Let's see. Who do we think they are? Who do we think are going to be the odds, the bookies' favourites to win the league? Oh, look. It's Arsenal, Liverpool, City and Chelsea are the top 4 favourites to win the league. Why? Because these teams are the best teams. Let's have a look at the FA Cup odds, shall we? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at, here we go, FA Cup. FA Cup winners. Right, here we go. It's actually easier to just Google it than go on their thing. So FA Cup. There you go. FA Cup odds checker. Who do we think are the favourites for the FA Cup? All right, let's see. I could be wrong here. I could be absolutely wrong. Oh, look. Who's the favourites for the FA Cup? Who do you think the 4 are? That's right. Liverpool, City, Arsenal and Chelsea again. Followed by Newcastle, Man U, Villa, and then Spurs are down in 8th. This is not rocket science. This isn't something that I've gone, I'm going to make up this stat. I'm going to go and find some facts. This is me using common sense that to win trophies, yeah, it's an anomaly unless you're one of the big teams. Unfortunately, that's the way of life. That's how it works. and again, my mate Rob never work at a football club. The difference between finishing second and 17th. How do I begin to rip your childish argument apart? I'll tell you what, let's do this. One, the difference between finishing second or 17th is a difference of about 50 or 60 million pounds for a start. Two, it means you're not playing in Europe. Three, it means that better players are not going to join you if you are down at the bottom of the table. I mean, I could keep going and going, but how are we not getting this? How are we not getting this? I just don't get it. The idea is you want to be a better team that hopefully one day can finish in the top 3, 4 and win trophies. That's a tough thing to do when you're competing against City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle with bags of money now, Villa, Palace are a good team, Bournemouth are a good team, right? It's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to do. And I get it. As football fans, we want to dream. Football fans at the beginning of the year want to say, we're winning everything this year. I get it. I love that. I love that. I do love that attitude from those people. I think they're brilliant. But realistically, we know, right? Realistically, we know. And anybody who understands how a football club actually works understands the difference between second and 17th is gargantuan, not just in league position. You don't think players don't want to finish 17th? You don't think that players will look at a club that finished 17th and go, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Right. One more line, you're gone, Rob. One more, you're gone. Everyone wants to win trophies. Stop pretending you're special. It's just we're not all being childish like you, mate. We all see you a mile off that you're not a Spurs fan. Every comment is Ange Postecoglou. It's absolutely mental. Mental behaviour. Alex said, I'm happy to finish second and at least fight for the title, not 17th and fighting relegation. Right. So, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. There's this correlation being put together. There's this correlation being put together. For example, I didn't want the last manager. Straight away, and people says, they go, why don't you like winning trophies? Whoa. Whoa. What? What? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? People can't just make things up. Savva, you said before you wouldn't take 17th in Champions League. If you listen to what I said, is that's not going to happen. A team that finishes 17th in the league doesn't win the Champions League. Come on. Come on. Who's ever finished 17th and won a Champions League? I'll chuck that question to you all. Go on. All you stat merchants out there, come on. Who can tell me? The last team to win a Champions League and finish 17th. I'll do you one better. How many people can name me teams that have won the Champions League and finished bottom half of their league? There's a good question for you all. There's a good question. Can anyone find me someone who's won the Champions League and finished bottom half or 17th? Anyone? Won't happen. Why won't it happen? If you are so bad that you lose every week that you finish 17th, you think you're rocking up and winning the Champions League. You think you're beating the PSGs and the Bayern Munichs and the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas and the Atletico Madrids, but you're finishing 17th in your list. Not happening. This is why it's such a silly argument. When fans say they're happy with 17th and a trophy, I'm happy for them. Doesn't mean I have to be. Doesn't mean I have to be. All right? Trophy, yes. Well done, Ange. Thank you. 17th, sorry, not acceptable. By the way, the Spurs board agreed with my analysis that it's not acceptable, and many of your analysis. Last bite. Here we go. You have to build as a football team. You have to get an identity. We have to be hard to beat and resilient and structured and organized. All the things that we're currently seeing being implemented. But everyone's so impatient. I thought yesterday, until they scored, I thought we were very comfortable in the game. I know they hit the post with a header, but other than that, I thought we were very comfortable. I thought we were creating some very good opportunities. We were the better team. We were very good on the transition. And to be honest, I think we could have been 2 or 3 up yesterday. Then they scored, and you would expect, as the home team, you would expect them, right? You would expect, as the home team, they've scored the goal, tails are up, 10 minutes at half time, and you would expect them to go on the up and up, and they did. I would expect that. We're away from home. But second half, I thought we limited them to chances, by the way. I thought they had some of the football, and if we want to look at the stats side of it, sure. But I think Vicario made a couple of great saves. But I didn't feel like they were all over us. I didn't feel like they were going to batter us. I didn't feel like we were ever really, really in trouble. I didn't think that. So I actually thought what we did yesterday was the perfect away plan. I think the problem is too many people expect us to play like we did under Poch. If we're going to be honest, that's what people want to see, right? But that team under Poch took a long time to put together, didn't it? It took a long time to put together, a long time to gel that team. If you remember, does anyone remember Poch's first half of season? You remember? Wasn't good, was it? Wasn't good to watch. Lots of us were like, oh, is this guy going to work out? It's looking poor. And then look at the next 3-4 years we had, where everyone was excited to watch Tottenham Hotspur play. Even people who didn't support Spurs, everyone was excited to watch us play. No one wanted to play against us. We were strong at the back, very good in midfield, very fluid up top. But it didn't happen in 10 games. And again, you can see it. Again, look, the Ange fans. Ange had to play Man City and Liverpool in his first 7 games. Frank's played Man City. No, we've played Brighton away, Leeds away, West Ham away, PSG. We've had to go to Bodo, the other side of the world. Like, what are we doing here? Before the internet, you used to have fans that were and by the way, many of you are like this in my chat, by the way. Many of you are, and it's what I love about my chat in the main. Got sensible people. Right? And again, this is not true. Poch didn't turn it around from day one in any way, shape, or form. No, he did not. No, that's not true, Sam Rocco. If anyone remembers, we were all talking about this guy getting sacked, and then Harry Kane scored that free kick against Villa, maybe. I think it was Villa. Somebody will tell me. Yeah. Again, honestly, Mark, I feel like everyone's rewriting history. Everyone is rewriting history. I'm pretty sure it was, right? I'm pretty sure it was Villa. Yeah. Didn't we have a free kick? And I don't think it was even a good free kick. Didn't it hit the wall or something and go in? Yeah. Yeah. Again, people are just, I love it. I'm out here to dispel myths. And luckily, I've got a platform to do it. Right? Thomas Frank's come in. I can't believe I get stick for sticking up for a manager. It's unbelievable. By the way, a manager that's doing very, very well. We've got the best away record in the Premier League. The best away record in the Premier League. Now, yeah, needs to get better at home, but we're not suddenly going to have the best home and best away record. Otherwise, we'd be winning the league, wouldn't we? Let's do some super chats and talk about some of the players from yesterday. Mark, I just can't do it. Listen, what I will see is if people are saying things that didn't actually happen, I will call it out. Right? I will call it out. Poch for me, I mean, that first year was tough. Let's have a look at Poch's first year. Spurs league finishes. There we go. Oh no, Tottenham. They keep giving me the San Antonio Spurs. I don't want them. Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. Tottenham. I always forget which one was it 13-14 or 14-15? Somebody in the chat. What was his first season? I can never remember his first year. Hang on, let me work this out by power default. 13-14? I want to see 13-14 was his first year, right? Okay. So in the 13-14 season, and was that his first year? I'm confused. I get confused. Anyway, yeah, it was good. He had a decent second half of the season, but in the first half, Poch was 14-15. I thought I was looking at the wrong year. Oh, my mind's gone blank. So in that year, Tottenham finished on 64 points. Right? I reckon we finish on more than 64 this year. I do. We don't normally see eye to eye, me and you. I completely agree with this. 10 from 12 away. And what makes me laugh, Soul Sniper, is the number of people that are now going, he's had it easy. What? We don't beat Brighton away. We don't beat West Ham away. We never, no one really wins at Leeds. Man City away is tough. Mate, as a YouTuber, I learned this a long time ago, Barbaric. Right? I learnt this. When you say I'm talking nonsense, am I going to have to bring up the stats to show you? Am I going to have to bring up the stats to show you that this is not true at all? Okay, we're bringing it up. Because when people, I love this, right? This is what I love. Sam Rocco's not quite understanding what's being said here, is he? So he's come out with something very silly. He said, you are talking nonsense. Well, I've got the facts. I'll show you in a second. The first year was a complete turnaround. Well, it wasn't. It took time. What do I want? A magic wand? No, that's the point I'm saying, that football management isn't a magic wand. You're not doing very well here. This is football, and he changed everything from day one. No, he didn't. No. Everyone in the chat is agreeing with me. Everyone in the chat is agreeing with me. So, before I do this, is everyone agreeing then Pochettino's first season was the 14-15 season? Is that correct? Yeah? Are we all agreeing with that? Just before I make this person look silly, right? I love it when people tell me I'm talking nonsense. So Pochettino, let me just double check. So here we go. Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, the 14-15 season. Here we go. So Sam Rocco, you're about to look silly. Ready? Not this one. Got the wrong one. That would help. Right. So those 2 seasons that are highlighted are the 2 seasons. So if you actually look, we won less games, right? We lost more games, got less points. So if you actually look, no, he didn't turn everything around all in one season. It took time. The first half of the season was tough. Sam, it's on the screen. It's on the screen, my man. It's on the screen. There you go. It's on the screen. Dude, this is the problem. Go back and it's revisionism. It's revisionism. There you go. We were 10th in Poch's first season after 15 games. It was a very slow start. Again, I don't understand what's difficult to understand about this. Completely agree. I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. He did take time to get going. I agree. I agree. Look, my point was that it's not a magic wand in football. That was my point, ladies and gentlemen. My point was it takes time. Everything takes time. Like somebody messaged me the other day and was like, who would you say he's coached better so far? Thomas Frank. And I'm like, hang on, he's only had 10 games. What is it that people think they're going to see? People think that coaches have 10 games on 10 games and suddenly you go, wow, that player is absolutely amazing. Right? It's, you know, I just think we should be very grateful for where we are. I think we should be very grateful for the manager that we've got. I think we can say thank you to Ange for winning the Europa League. I think we can do that as well and be balanced. But I think we need to move on. And there's too many in the chat every time. There's too many. Big up, Paddy. How you doing, my man? How you doing? Long time no speak, brother. Bacon sandwich, mate. It was absolutely stunning. I think that on a day like this, when we're sitting third in the table, 1 defeat in 10, 11, depending if you want to count PSG in 90 minutes, I just thought more people would be a bit upbeat. I just think more people would have been like, yeah, what a great start to the season. And unfortunately, we still got so many that can't let go. They can't let go, and we need to let go. Let's talk about the game yesterday. All right? Let's talk about the game yesterday. We're going to get there, Soul Sniper. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. All right? Let's have a look. Out of 10, I want you to give me these scores, guys and girls. Let's see. Out of 10, this man, Vicario, out of 10. I'll talk about it while you lot put the scores in. Look, Vicario. This guy is an enigma, isn't he? He makes some great saves that keep you in games, and then he just makes ridiculously silly mistakes at the back, time and time and time again. I genuinely feel so conflicted with this. You all know, you all watch me enough, right? But hang on, the fact that you all watch me enough means you should all be pressing the like button, right? Hang on, I've got loads of tabs open here. Let's get rid of these tabs. Perchy tells me off for having too many tabs open. How many likes we got? Oh my gosh, 183. Come on, guys and girls. We should have 400, 300 minimum. Let's get those like buttons going. And also, thank you very much, guys. In the last 24 hours, we have gone past the. Oh no, that's the Spurs 5 channel. This is my channel. Nope. That's my old channel. Here you go. Where it is, TV. We have gone over the 23,200 mark. So thank you very much. You've all been very generous lately. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Really appreciate it. The pin is linked. Look, sorry, but you can't do this. You just can't. He nearly got sacked, mate. He was on the verge of getting sacked because it wasn't going well. Second half of the season, it went well. As I said, it took him time to get going. You can say that nothing's going to change that for you, but it's not a narrative. It's facts. After the first 15 games, which is nearly half a season, we were mid-table. We were worse than the year before, but it takes time. Right. Vicario. Interesting one for me. Made some brilliant saves yesterday. I don't think any of us can doubt that. Made some brilliant, brilliant saves. But how many games in a row now has this guy made mistakes? I'm remembering Brighton, Wolves, yesterday, Bodo, I think he was poor. Look, it's a difficult one. For any of you that watch me, right, you'll know my sentence on this. Rob, last chance, you're going to get blocked, mate. You're going to get blocked. See, you keep saying you're not childish. Who was disappointed? Not disappointed. Stop. Stop, mate. I'll chuck the question back to you. Why don't you support our new manager? Why are you so obsessed with our old manager? It's odd. You didn't marry him. He's a football manager. It's not your ex-wife. It's not your girlfriend. He's a very well-paid manager that was sacked and has gone somewhere else. You've got two options. Follow him and support Nottingham Forest, or maybe support Tottenham Hotspur. Each to their own. Vicario, for me, I said this about him, didn't I? A decent keeper, no more, no less. A decent keeper, no more, no less. And I don't think I'm being harsh. For me, I think he's, like I said, I did conversation with people the other day when I said, people are going, oh, he's better than him in the Premier League. I feel like when I look through the Premier League, I don't think he's better than most of these. I'm not saying that these are great goalkeepers, but I don't look at him and look at Leno at Fulham and go, oh my God, Vicario's much better. I don't look at him and think that. I think that Vicario's a very middle of the road goalkeeper. He's okay, right? He's okay. And these wonder saves he makes every now and then make people go, oh, what a great game. But again, yesterday for the goal, too many times, this is the thing, goalkeeping coaches will tell you, the first thing a goalkeeper should not do, right? Or the last thing a goalkeeper should do is you parry the ball out into the danger zone. And if you watch most Vicario saves, he parries it into the 6-yard box. And for me, I'm seeing it more and more. I've said it for 2 years. This is not new. I've said this for 2 years. He's okay. I don't think he's the biggest problem at Spurs. I think we're getting away with it. But I think yesterday, again, I'm going to give him a 6. I think he made some big saves. I think he was at fault for the goal. I thought he looked dreadful from corners and free kicks again. He just can't come out and command his box. He cannot come out and command his box. You know, you're seeing these other goalkeepers for clubs, they come out and bang. Saw Sam Johnston do it. Sam Johnston came out for Wolves every time, bang, through the crowd, punched the ball 30, 40 yards. Right? I never get that sense with Vicario that he's doing that. He was at no man's land when they hit the post. No man's land. So for me, I think he's, as I said, decent goalkeeper. Decent. Upgrade needed. I think in next season. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, it's top of our priorities. But For me, a top goalkeeper takes the pressure off their team. This guy does not take pressure off our team. I think he puts the pressure on. Is he better than Pickford? I don't think so. Is he better than Pope? No, I'm not saying I think Pope's amazing, but I don't think he's better than Pope or Pickford or Sells. I think he's a very middle of the road. It still scans, right? I checked it. I can still scan it without it. Let me know if you let me know, please. Can you not see? Are you not able to scan it? Someone let me know. Where are we? Let me know if you can. Because somebody, Terry, on a serious, can you not? Wasn't working. Okay, it's not working. All right, I'll tell you what we do. There we go. How about that? You got big, small, in the middle. There you go. There you go. There it is. There it is. There it is. Thank you for letting me know, Terry. Can you try again now, people, and let me know if it works? Should work. I've just scanned it before I started the show, so I know that the actual link works. Can people still not scan it now? You can't scan it. Anybody? Yeah, working now. Thank you, Mark. Thanking you. Right. My question is this. Should Kinski get a run of games? I don't think it's going to happen, by the way. I don't think it's going to happen. But should Kinski get a chance? Elijah, it's just like super chats. But people can put in a private message to me or send a video to me if they wish. And it means that YouTube don't take like 40% of the super chat, essentially. Each to their own. Each to their own. Look, Kinski's a difficult one. It's really tough to tell how good Kinski is. I'd like to see him get some games now that we've got a proper back four. Now that we're not playing wide open gung-ho football, I want to see what he's like. Now, I don't know if he's good enough, right? I've not seen enough of him to go, yeah, get Kinski and he's amazing. He's going to be a brilliant. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But I do think that he deserves an opportunity. I do think he deserves an opportunity. And thank you, Terry, who has just bought me a coffee. Thank you very much, buddy. By the way, Terry, what I'm working on behind the scenes is I'm working on a way to make sure that when somebody buys me a coffee, that their message, that it pops up on the screen. You'll have to bear with me. I am rubbish at that sort of stuff. And Perchy is helping me with that because he's very good with technology and I am useless. Absolutely useless with technology, me. That's why when I get accused of having bot accounts, I'm like, I couldn't multitask like that. That's not me. Anyway, for me, Vicario, I'll give him a 6. Some good saves. I thought he was at fault for the goal. Didn't fill me with confidence. And it is what it is. I wouldn't mind seeing Kinski get a game, but I don't think it's going to happen. Guys, let's move on. Absolutely, I'm not going to drink a coffee. No. It's just called Buy Me a Coffee. That's the name of the company. That's what it's called. Definitely not. Right? And big up, Terry. Thank you for that. Next player. This guy. Now, for me, yesterday wasn't Porro's finest game. There's no problems with Porro. I just didn't think it was a great game for him. He, for me, tried too hard yesterday, I think. I think he tried too hard. But listen, I've got no problems with Porro. I think he's a very good footballer. Just wasn't his best game for me. I'd give him a 5 yesterday. I didn't think a lot worked. What I would say is he did play that dinked ball over that hit the defender and then Cudas ran onto it. But in no means any problem at all. It's just that he didn't. It's okay, right? By the way, it's okay to not have a good game. I just didn't think he had one of his best games. There was that time when Xavi Simmons played a beautiful dink ball over to him, and all he had to do was square it, and he completely fluffed his lines. And for me, that kind of epitomised his game yesterday. So he'll have better games. What I would say, right, Rob, dude, I keep telling you, right? I don't know if you're a child or what's going on here. Stop this. You keep asking this. I've answered it. It's silly. Just stop. The rest of us are talking about yesterday's game. You're still talking about Ange. Please stop. So what I would say is I thought yesterday Okafor had the absolute beating of Porro every time. Every single time. Every single time. I thought he had the beating of him. So, look, not a great game. But we know, and I agree with this. I agree with this. When he comes up against techie wingers, you are right. Whenever he comes up against the likes of Matoma, right? Yes, you are right. If I was a left winger of note, I'd love to play against Porro. Now, I wouldn't because I'm constantly tracking back because Porro's going forward. But defensively, I think you can get a Porro. I don't think this is breaking news. I think defensively, you can get a Porro. And I think that people know this. I think that these wingers know this, don't they? They know they can get at Porro. So for me, I'd give him a 5. I didn't think it was great yesterday. But hey, he's got 2 weeks now. Then we play Villa at home where he'll probably... Oh, who will he be up against? Villa don't really have any wingers anymore, do they? They got like Rodgers and Gassand and Elliott and Buendia. But he won't really... See, that might be a better game for Porro because he won't be... I don't think Villa have got a tricky winger, right? I don't think Villa have got a tricky winger. So that'll probably be... that will probably be a much better game. But let me know your thoughts. Just before we go on to the next people, big up Paul Langley. Thank you for starting a Super Sticker train. Chew, bloody true. Really appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much. Very generous as always, Paul. You always are. My man, Mario, has renewed his membership. Thank you, Mario. By the way, Mario, I've been waiting for 6 months for an invite to your farm in Kent. Terrible. I thought we were going to do a live stream from your farm. Hopefully, I've not given away where you live. But by the way, Kent is a bloody big place for anyone who doesn't know it. Big up to you, Mario. Thank you very much. And please feel free to join the members-only shows. There'll be a couple this week because of International Week. A video complete. Sophia. I said, Savva, do you think Vicario should be dropped? Well, as just talked about there, I don't think it's about dropped, but I do think that Kinski deserves a chance to see what he can do. I don't think Vicario's been good enough that you go, God, he's undroppable. But how many managers drop their number one? Not many, right? Not many drop their number one. So I do think Kinski deserves a game, though. I really do. Maybe Newcastle in the cup. Big up to you. And Faz, good morning to you, Faz. Oh, it's actually the afternoon now, depending on where you live. Probably the UK because of the pound sign. So Forest won Europe back to back. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I'm talking about now, right? I'm talking about like who's finished 17th. I think this came from and won a Champions League. And the answer was no one. But big up to you, Faz. I hope you're well, my friend. Let's hope for a good year this year. And Blaine is always generous with a super sticker. Thank you very much, Blaine. Really appreciate you, my man. Thanking you kindly. How are you, buddy? Let me know as well, Blaine, if you would like to join the Spurs review tonight. You are more than welcome. You've not been on for a while, so you're more than welcome. Where are we? So that was Porro. Lots of 5s and 6s being handed out for Porro for yesterday, which I think makes sense. Let's go to the next one. Christian Romero, the captain. We know that he's not 100% fit. We know that he missed the trip to Bodo. And we know that he had a bit of discomfort yesterday. I think Thomas Frank said that after the game. For me, I'd give him a 7.5. I think that a couple of rash tackles where he went in and didn't win the ball. But some very good tackles as well to break up play. What I would say is he got completely outdone in the air yesterday in the second half by Calvert-Lewin. So I think that's definitely something he needs to work on. But all in all, a solid game from Romero. I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he was superb. I just think it was I think it was a good performance from him. It was decent, right? So I would go with a 7. I'll go with a 7 for Romero. So a 6 for Vicario, a 5 for Porro, and a 7 for Christian Romero. You lot have gone with Romero with a 6, a 7, a 7, a 7.5, 7, 6.5. So everyone's kind of in the same ballpark. Sam's gone with 7, 7, 7. Everyone's kind of going with the same feeling, right? I think it was decent, no more, no less. It doesn't always have to be hyperbolic, does it? 7.5. Think he's improved. Well, he's definitely more consistent for me. And he definitely looks like a better defender now that he's not having to play on the halfway line. I agree with that. So, Christian Romero, yeah. Now, what about his partner, Mickey Vanerven? Mickey Vanerven, who I think this year, I'm going to say it, I think he's come on leaps and bounds as a defender. I really do. The question mark from a lot of people in the summer was, how will Vanerven play when he's not solely reliant on his pace? And I think that was fair to answer. How will Vanerven play when he's not being asked to just run back from the halfway line the whole time? And I think he's been our best defender. I think he's been better than Romero this season. I'm going to give him an 8 for yesterday. I think he was very good. And I can't really point to too much he does wrong. He keeps it simple. He put in some crunching tackles. I think he's getting better in the air. Absolutely. Again, I hate agreeing with you, Swanex. I like it when we disagree, but I completely agree. My question mark over him was, and this is nothing, hopefully this makes sense. This wasn't about him. It was more about the way he was being played was, okay, if we're going to have a more traditional back four, what are we going to see from Mickey Vanerven? And what I've seen so far, I'm very impressed with. He's been very, very good. He has been very, very good. So for me, I'll give him a 7.5, 8 for yesterday. For me, I think he's composed is a good word. I think he's composed. So, look, every now and then, he brings that ball out, doesn't he? Just drives down that left-hand channel, brings the ball out. But have you noticed it's not as gung-ho? So, lots of people, yeah, apparently VDV is the next one signing a new contract. Let's hope we do, because there will be clubs sniffing after him. So, for me, so far, of all the players we've looked at, for me, I would give him an 8, 7.5, 8. 7.5, 8 for me for Mickey Vanerven. Just before we move on, big up to the Ginger Cockerel, very generous. The Super Sticker train is in full flow this morning. You lot have been very, very generous to me lately, so thank you very much for that. Really appreciate you, buddy. And also, Rodney, thank you, always generous. So big up, Savva. Yeah, Kinski definitely deserves a run. May give Vicario a wake-up call. He's too cozy now. Yeah. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? There's nothing wrong with saying, look, you've not been great. We're going to bring this guy in who's been waiting patiently. And then you say, right, Kinski, you're going in, take your opportunity. And Vicario, if he doesn't take his opportunity, let this be a warning that you need to up your game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Big up to you. Had a feeling Tell would score. Listen, I'm happy for the lad that he scored. I'm happy for the lad that he scored. And we'll get on to Tell in a minute. We will. Big up to you, Rodney. Very generous indeed. Very generous indeed. No, we won 4 of them, drawn 3 of the last 7. If you're talking about the 7 games. Right, the next player that would be to complete the back 4, Destiny Adobe. Now, I'm going to give Destiny Adobe an 8. Now, it would have been more for me, but a few things that I think he really has to improve on. I think he had a good game. what I have noticed is, and I don't know if anybody else notices this, because I know people tend not to look at these things. When he's defending in our own box, he loses his man very easily. So if you actually go back and look at the header for when Roden hit the post, he's all a bit in, and I've noticed that of him over the years. He's quite a bit away with the fairies when the cross comes in. However, going the other way, he was very good yesterday. Now, I think if he can, I think this will be someone that Frank really develops into a top player. I think he's got all the attributes you need. He's got all the attributes you need. And it's just about harnessing that for me. Now, if Frank can work with him, and get that final ball right, got a top player in your hands there. Now, yesterday, he squared that ball and Cudas fluffed his lines. But if he could start doing that more often than not, if he can start doing it more often than not, that's a really good string to the bow. Now, I think that he does complement playing with Adobe. We'll talk about Adobe in a minute. He does offer that balance, the left-sided balance on the outside. It allows him to go on the outside and get the crosses in. But what I do think we need to see, what's he done? Stanley, come here. What you doing? Stanley, what's this? What's this? You being naughty? Naughty puppy. We've got a naughty puppy this morning. So I do think if he can work on that ball, work on that final ball. For me, there's a number of times where you think, just put your foot through it. And he doesn't. He stops. He checks back. He gets in great position. So for me, I think he had a good game. Little bit lackadaisical at the back at times, but I think he had a good game overall and was definitely one of our better players on the day. Agreed. And it is the final ball that needs to improve. But I do think that will come. And agreed. Ball watching is, thank you. That's probably the term I was looking for, ball watching. So, look, Adobe for me, at the moment, he's got the nod over Spence. I think you've got to have that left-footed balance. And at the moment, Spencer's not been playing well, has he? So we'll see. Rob has said Adogi's crosses are quite limited, only cutbacks. Absolutely. If he can work on this, And it's all well and good getting in those positions, but you've got to have the delivery. And when people are going, oh my God, Destiny was amazing. Amazing for me. I feel like we throw superlatives ridiculously. Amazing for me is getting those positions, get those crosses over constantly into the danger zone. Now, yesterday, he pulled a really good ball back, didn't he, for Cudas? He put another one across the 6-yard box. He can do that more and more and more, right? I think he'll be a top left back. I do. We'll see, though. It's early days. You know me. I don't get carried away. This is what I think we should have been developing in him the last 2 years, and we haven't. Agreed, Dan. Agreed. So, the next player. Palinia. Now, I'm going to give this man the ultimate compliment I can. I'm going to give this guy the ultimate compliment I can. Palinia does exactly what it says on the tin. I know what I'm going to get from Palinia, game in, game out, right? This is not a guy where I have a worry. This is not a guy where I go, oh, is he going to be in the right position? Is he going to do anything silly? This is a seasoned senior pro that sits in front of that back four and does his job. And that's not me. That's not me belittling it. I want people that do their job. People are, oh, that's not enough praise. The best praise someone can give you is week in, week out, you do your job. Too many up and down players. This guy is not up and down. This guy sits in midfield and he does his job. He loves tackling. If I'm not wrong, hang on, let's have a look. I saw this yesterday. Pictures. What did I say about Palinia? So Palinia, right? He's the first player to make 25 tackles in this season's Premier League. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. And you've got to have that guy. This is why we've been saying for 2 years, why have we not had that guy in the team? Why have we not bought this type of footballer? We needed it. And we ignored it for 4 to 5 transfer windows. And now we've got him in there. And you know what? He's not the greatest player to watch. He's not got the sexy vibe about him. But this guy does everything you want from a holding midfielder. He wins it and he gives it. He wins it and he gives it. That's what I want. He's calm. He's collected. Up there, he's super switched on. Always in the right place. Always sniffing danger. And his game yesterday, 7 duels won. 4 final third entries. 3 aerial duels won. 3 clearances. 2 tackles. 2 fouls won. 2 fouls conceded. And then it says at the bottom, the player Spurs were missing last season. Class act. Kate, stop being a pervert. God, he was ripped, wasn't he? Ripped he was, the bloke. Look, absolutely everything that we've needed. Everything that we've needed, this guy. I can't give him a bigger compliment. I've said for years, that's the guy I want. I was so happy when Spurs went and got this done. Now, make it permanent. Make it permanent. Bring in another number 6 next year who can play behind him. And over the next 2 years, develop that person into being his replacement. That is exactly what I would do. That is exactly what I would do. Big up as well. Thank you to Smokey Boy. Big up Smokey Boy, who has just gifted me a coffee as well. You're very generous. Really appreciate that. As I've said, I will find a way that I can get these messages to come up on the screen in the bottom right-hand corner, which was just there of the screen. So we'll get that done. But thank you very much. Really appreciate that, Smokey Boy. So listen, Palinia for me, I'll give him an 8.5. I thought he does his job. And in a game away at Leeds against a 3-man midfield, you need that bloke. You need that player. Now, here's the interesting one. Bentonor. I'm going to say this. For me, a game of 2 halves. I thought the first half, I thought he was poor. Second half, I thought he did a lot of work that would probably go unnoticed. First half, I did think he was poor. He didn't look in the game at all. Gave the ball away. Second half, thought he put out a lot of fires. He put out a lot of fires without people probably noticing. He got to grips with the game a bit more for me in the second half. I think the problem that we're going to have with Bentonor is mobility. And for me, as the game went on, he became more disciplined, but he stopped running. And what it looked like was he was almost running in treacle. Not in a horrible way. Injuries catch up with you. It looked like he was running in treacle. And I guess the biggest word I would use for Bentonor. Now listen, I like Bentonor as a footballer. By the way, listen to my tone. I like him. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he's great. Bentonor for me is a 7 out of 10 midfielder in his career. He does some really nice things. He does some very sloppy things. And the word I want to use for this guy is just inconsistent. That's what it is. And I think that's what's stopping him being the next level up of a midfielder. You get a good game from him. You get a bad game from him. You get a good game. You get a bad game. So, listen, I get why the new contract was signed, by the way. You are retaining his value, Rather than letting him leave on a free, you are retaining value. So if anyone comes in to buy him in the next year or two, you're actually going to make money. So I don't lose my mind like loads of people are over him signing a new contract. But the legs for me look like they're not there. But then you'll see a next game and you'll be like, oh, Bentonor was brilliant. He's everywhere. So for me, I've always said this about Bentonor. I've always said this. I think when people were losing their mind years ago, oh my God, I think what it was, I think when Bentonor came into the team, right? When Bentonor came into the team, what we saw was he was an upgrade from Winks and Sissoko, right? He was an upgrade from Winks and Sissoko. And he did a job, and he's still doing a job. But I do think, and I've said this, but we need a ball player number 8. We need a ball player number 8. We have managed to buy about 4 or 5 number 8s. None of them are ball players, and that concerns me. Bergval's not a ball player 8. Gray's not a ball player 8. Bentonor's not a ball player 8. Suma's not a ball player 8. Sar's not a ball player 8. So, listen, watch this space. But I would say Bentonor, I'd give him a 6. As I said, first half poor, second half better. But he did look like his legs were going a bit. Xavi Simmons and Nige, good player. Good player, that boy. And plenty of legs. Plenty of legs in him. Yeah, good player, that boy. Yeah, like him. Xavi Simmons, or Xavi, as we should call him. For me, Xavi Simmons showed yesterday flashes of what he's about. Some sublime through balls, some brilliant passing, connecting dots. He also showed where he needs to develop, doing things a bit quicker. Yeah? I think that's the thing you'll have to learn. That's what happens when you go to a different league, different tempos, different style. That will take a bit of time. So for me, he played a couple of lovely through balls in the first half. Some lovely through balls. You could see it. He's a footballer. You can see it in his feet. You know when I say footballer, just some players have it, and he's got it. And I do think that we're going to see the best of this guy in the second half of the season. I do think it's going to take a bit of time for someone like Xavi Simmons. But he showed some really good moments for me yesterday as to what he's about. He's just comfortable on the ball, technical ability, and he's getting more minutes in the 10 now. And yeah, Nige, completely agree. Love, that little, see, not many footballers can do that. Do you know what I mean, Nige? There are not many players that have that in their locker, and he certainly does. The Rabona, Terry, I hear you, man. I hear you. I think it's one of those crowd-pleasing moments. If it works, you go, ho, ho, ho. If it doesn't, we all go, God, that was silly. And that's the fine line when you try those skills, right? Yeah, it was silly. It was silly. Gave the ball away needlessly, but I thought he made some really good passes. Good feet. Listen. You want to know how good a footballer is? Watch their feet. First thing I was taught coaching. First thing. You want to know how good a player is? Watch their feet. Yeah. Anyone can run around. Not everyone can be good with their feet. And that's the difference, right? I think he's going to take a bit of time to maybe strengthen up a bit, maybe move the ball quicker. But hey, I thought all in all, a solid 7.5 for me. And I think he will get better and better and better. I really do. Maddison and Simmons are listen, I think what we're seeing, by the way, is all those people that mocked James Maddison. When he doesn't play, you notice it. I would love James Maddison in this team. I would absolutely love James Maddison in this team. Big up to the Spurs ladies who have gone 1-0 up with a brilliant... Is it on? Is it on the telly box? I never know what's on and what's not. No, that's Ipswich v Norwich. Ipswich v Norwich, which is 0-0. Is the women's game on? No. Oh, the live women's game is London City Lionesses versus Liverpool. So no, the Spurs go. Oh, actually, hang on. Can we do a match choice? Hang on, I might be able to get the old Spurs ladies up here. 1 second. Sky Sports Plus doing their thing. Hang on. Come on, Sky. You can do it quicker. You can do it. What film is that from? You can do it. What film? Anybody? Oh, there's a quiz question. You can do it. What film? And there you go. And now we've got Spurs v Brighton on the telly box. Watch live. Yeah, I don't want to start it again. There we go. Spurs v Brighton. There we go. We've got it. It is The Waterboy. Great film. It's a great film. Same actor. Nearly. Yeah, Waterboy. The Waterboy. Great film. Some high quality H2O. Great film. So yeah, Xavi Simmons. Adobe. Now for me, I'll give Adobe a 7. Here's what I would say about Adobe. For me, offers no threat at all, but works bloody hard and links up well with Adobe. So what he was doing, and Sean and I were having this debate yesterday, he does a lot of hard work without actually providing anything, right? This is me being generous, I think, by the way. I'm seeing people say things like masterclass and phenomenal performance. For me, you're a winger. You need to do some things going forward as well as just allowing your fullback to go past you. Now, first off, I thought he was giving the ball away far too easily for my liking. They showed yesterday he gave the ball away 7 times. 7 times he gave the ball away, right? And bearing in mind, he didn't complete one dribble. So he's not giving it away with dribbling. He's not even giving it away trying to beat a man. He's just giving it away. Look, I need to see more. I need to see more from him. I'm always disappointed. Listen, no, I'm not always disappointed. What's the word I'm looking for? As a winger, you've got to offer some form of threat. You've got to take your fullback on once, twice, three. You've got to do something. It's too simplistic for me to say, but he allows Adobe to go on the outside. Sure, but that doesn't mean he should never go on the outside. And so many opportunities yesterday when he was one-on-one with Bogle, the right back. And you're thinking, run at him. No, cut back, lay it off. Run at him, cut back, lay it off. And for me, I can't praise that. I can say, well done, you worked hard, you linked up well, but at what stage do you go, right, you are a winger, you need to show us something. You need to show us something. 5-yard passes to Adobe, fine. I'm cool with that. Linking up with Adobe is fine. But you've got to have end product. And this season, his stats in every game are awful from what a wide man should do. Now, yes, not everything can be done by stats. Of course they can't. I get that. But his dribbling, his take-ons this year have been awful. He doesn't assist. He doesn't score. If I'm a right back, I want to play against Adobe. And that, for me, is what he's got to work on that. He's got to work on that side of the game. Now, the question is, does he have that side to his game? But when we're saying he's only 20, so he hasn't played hundreds of games of football. Sorry, if you can naturally beat a man, it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 18. It doesn't matter. For me, better second half than first half. But I feel like we're now getting away from what we normally judge wingers by. He's got to have something the other end. There's no excuse. The number of times he was one-on-one with his winger and looked too scared. He's fullback and looked too scared to try and take him on. Now, I don't know if he can take him on. That's what I need to see. Can you beat your man? Not every time. By the way, I don't expect to. Wingers are not going to have a 100% take-on rate. Ridiculous. Yamal doesn't have a 100% take-on rate. But if you're a fullback playing against Cudas's, Yamal's, right? I could go on, Kvaratskhelia, you could go on and on and on and on with whatever wingers. Matoma, you don't like it because you know he can either go inside, he can go outside, he can play the ball back, he can take me on, he can drive in and score. And with me for Adobe, there's no, I never think something's going to happen with him. And listen, I keep being told it's an agenda. There's no agenda. The stats for this season have shown me what my eyes show me. They've shown me that he's got good passing. If you look at his stats this season, you can see he's got very good short passing, which means he keeps the ball, he keeps it moving. There's 5 yards to you, 5 yards to you, 5 yards to you. That's fine. It also shows that his take-ons are poor, that his goal threat and his output is non-existent. So tidy. Yeah, I could go along with that, Francis. When he's not losing the ball, I think he's a tidy player. But for me, I want to see more. And I thought yesterday was a really good opportunity. Leeds were quite wide open at the back, and you're thinking, beat him. Beat your man. Beat him. You're one-on-one. Never tried it. Doesn't try it. So, look, one to watch. I hope he gets better. But the word I'm going to go, I think it's lackluster. It's lackluster. And everyone knows my thoughts on the left-sided position. Everyone knows I'm so frustrated that we negligently didn't buy a left winger. But Darren, this is the thing. If we're going to do this with every player, but they're young, listen, I didn't ask for a 20-year-old to be in our first team. The age thing, that's not on me. That's on the club for buying it. Josh, I'd agree with that. Right. So now I watch a player like Garnacho yesterday. Now, don't get me wrong. Garnacho, not everything he does comes off. But when he gets it, he runs at his defender. You can see the defenders are like, where's he going? What's he going to do? I like wingers like that. So I don't mind Adobe. I just don't look at him, and I'm some of the superlatives I'm seeing at him for a guy that doesn't offer anything as an actual left winger. I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like we're praising for the bare minimum. It's like the bar is set so low. He is a left winger. You have to offer threat. Your answer can't be, let me give it to Adobe every time. You have to offer threat. And that's what I don't see from him. Now, call it an agenda. I never understand when people say that, because why would I not want him to be brilliant? And agreed. Agreed. For me, Adobe, and then this isn't his fault, right? Adobe should be a player coming on the pitch, right? He should be coming on the pitch, last 10, 15 minutes, go on, run at them. When he starts, I don't know. For me, just a bit I don't hate him. I don't think he's great. Just a bit at the moment. And I don't think everybody's going to be like Cudas, by the way, because I think Cudas is class. I think everybody's going to be like Cudas. But as a winger, at least try and take your man on, right? You know, at least in 90 minutes, try and affect the game. At least try and get some shots away. Or just, hey, it is what it is. I'll give him a 7 because I thought he worked hard and I did think he linked up well with Adobe. But for me as a winger, it's not the type of winger I like. I suppose that's what we could go with to meet in the middle. I'll give him a 7. I thought he worked hard. Yeah, I would take this guy. I would have taken him all day long. I think he runs at people and scares them. I do. Next player. Matisse Tell. Now, Matisse Tell. Very pleased that he got the goal. Very pleased. I don't care. When people go, it was a deflection. I don't care it was a deflection. He doesn't care it was a deflection. No one should care that it was a deflection. Right? What I liked was he got the ball out early doors, got the strike off. And that was better from him. Normally, I think he takes too many touches and he doesn't look comfortable with the ball. Got it out of his feet, got the strike away. You know what? Sometimes you need the deflection. It bumps, dips up over the keeper, 1-0. And fair play to him. And you could see the relief in him. You could see the relief. Right? Fair play to him for that. I thought he did really well for the header as well. The ball that was hooked up in the air by Adobe. And I thought he'd done really well to get across his man. Powerful header. Unlucky not to have two. Now, the injury didn't help him. I'll give him that. The injury didn't help him. I thought that after that injury at the end of the first half, I don't think he looked comfortable. What I would say for me is he's not a natural player. He's not a natural technical footballer. So it's the all-round stuff where I look and I think, I don't know. He never looks comfortable with the ball. His hold-up play, his passing. Now, will that get better? I don't know. I don't know. Happy for him, but I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go overboard because a guy scores a goal. For me, I think he needs to find ways of getting himself more into the thick of the action, and I think he's got to find a way of being a bit more comfortable on the ball. When it goes into him, it all looks like everything. Every first touch is rushed, and maybe that's confidence. Maybe that comes with time. What I've seen over his last 7-8 months of Spurs, I don't know if that is a confidence thing or if it's an ability thing. At the moment, I'm saying it's an ability thing. However, now, kick on. You got your goal. You can have some confidence. Frank, I thought, was brilliant with him at the end, pushing him towards the fans to say, yeah, look, this guy just scored. Let's see what he's made of. But again, I keep hearing this sentence. Please stop shouting as well, Darren. It's fine. You have to shout. When we say there is a real player in there, I haven't seen it. I need to see it. Yeah? Not I need to see a goal. Not I need to see a header. I need to see it. The biggest compliment I can give him yesterday was the drop-off when Richarlison came on was, oh my gosh, was crazy. Richarlison, I've said it for years, one of the worst strikers I've seen in a Spurs shirt. Just truly, truly atrocious. So anyway, look, Tell for me, let's see how he kicks on. Let's see how he kicks on. He's got the goal. Listen, I'm not one of those fans that goes, oh my God, he scored a goal. He's brilliant. There's something in there. He's amazing. He's great. Nah, for me, I need to see it consistently. Absolutely this. We need to see consistency. I say this about every footballer. Consistency. That's why I rate players like Palinia. Consistency. Do your job consistently. But happy for the young lad. Let's see what he's got. He's being given some opportunities. He's got to take those chances. He's got to take those chances. So I would give him a 7. Not a lot outside of the goal, but he got the goal and nearly got the second. I'll give him a 7. I felt a bit for him as well with the knock, but a decent enough game from Tell. And hopefully from there, let's see what he's made of. The excuse can't always be confidence. The excuse can't always be confidence. I get it. Players go through dips. But I've watched this guy at Bayern Munich and for the French under-21s and for Spurs, and I've never looked at him and gone, yes, that's just me. Just my opinion. Just my opinion before I get shouted at. There's no agenda. Yeah? Some players I rate, some players I don't. Right. And the last player, Cudas. Out of 10 people, what are we giving Cudas? For me, he's been our player of the season. For me, he's been our player of the season. I just think what he offers is so much levels above anybody else in those attacking areas. He just so the levels. And you just think how many people didn't want him. What's he got now? 1 goal, 5 assists. So he's got 6 GA in 7 games in the league. Look, he's strong. He's powerful. Now, this is what makes me laugh. When people say he's greedy, I want him holding the ball up. I don't want it bouncing back like it does on the other side. I want him holding the ball up. That will get better the more technical the players that join the football club. Yes, in the first half, yes, he missed the sitter. Well, I wouldn't say a sitter. But yes, he limped back. Adobe played him in, and he limped back. But again, the assist for Tell's goal played him through. Then the goal himself put pressure on the defender, wins the ball back, cuts inside, fires it low into the bottom corner. And yes. For me, this is the type of footballer I like. This is my type of footballer, right? 1, comfortable on the ball. Give me the ball in any tight space. I can have 2 or 3 men around me. Give me the ball. I am confident in my own ability. I will not lose it. That's my type of footballer, right? 2, imagine being a left back and playing against Cudas. Right? Imagine being a left back and playing against that guy. You would hate it because, yes, he's so strong. He's so strong. Not only is he tricky, right? Not only is he tricky, but he's so strong. He's quick. He's strong. He's tricky. Both feet. Takes a good corner. Assists. Got his goal now. Everything. That's everything why I wanted to buy him. And again, doesn't it show, though, in the summer, how many Spurs fans went, oh, he's crap. Look at his goals and assists last year. And you're like, God, you've got to watch him. You've got to watch this boy play. Now, that for me is the benchmark. Now, I'm not saying everyone we buy has to be exactly the same profile, but that level of ability, is what we should be striving for. Him, the Palinias, that's what we should be striving for. So when people say, I've got an agenda against the Tells and against the Odebers and the Johnsons and the I don't. They're just not my type of footballers at all. They're weak. They're powder puff. There's nothing to them where I go, God, you're a good player. They're triers. If I wanted to try, I could go and watch Bromley play. They're down the road. I could go and watch Bromley play in League Two if I want to watch a trier. I want ability. This is the top level of football. And this guy's got it. Class act. Absolutely class act. I'll give him a 9 out of 10. My man of the match by a mile. I thought he was excellent yesterday. Again, I thought he's so often the guy for the outlet. He is the guy. Now imagine he had a centre forward to aim for. Imagine he had a Kane, a Vlahovic. Imagine he had a Haaland, somebody to aim for. There you go, Kate. Imagine he had them. Imagine we had a Semenyo on the other side. God, can you imagine Cudas and Semenyo? Yep, but he's the only one capable of doing it, right? He sees Son goes and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. So there's my ratings for yesterday. Look, great start to the season. Great start to the season. A lot of complaining that's gone on. Oh, the football's not good, this, that, the other. I mean, but the football was crap last year and we lost. This year, I feel like we played well in patches, been poor in patches, but we are currently sitting third. Currently sitting third. 2 points average. Only 2 teams have scored more. Only 2 teams have conceded less. He's not the worst player I've seen in a Spurs shirt. Listen, he doesn't really do anything for me. Doesn't mean he's the worst player I've seen. I just think he's safe. I don't look at him and see any outstanding qualities. That's the thing. There's not that one thing that I look at and go, wow, yeah, that's what I've got to see. And as people keep telling me, he's young. I don't know how long this young tag lasts, but he's young apparently. So, hey, big up to Voldemort, who said curse lifted. Yeah, he lifted the curse yesterday. And 2-1, as I said, the Geordies will win 4-0. Well, there's some great games today, aren't there? Some really good games of football today. Big up to you, Voldemort. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Tony Rodriguez said, do you think we'll be able to manage 2 games a week without losing momentum until the transfer window opens? No, I don't. Tony, the honest answer is no. The problem is we have to have a best 11 out there to do well. And then the moment you start making those changes, the levels drop, right? The levels drop. So I don't. Now, if they prove me wrong, fantastic. It means they've done better than I thought. But I don't think the squad's deep enough. And for a Champions League season, I just don't think it's deep enough. Smokey Bowie. Smokey Boy. Oh, you sent me the coffee. Thank you very much. Said hi, Savva and gang. Said 60 years a fan and only just cracked the tech to take part. Big up to you, my man. How you doing? You don't have to tell us. What's your name? Welcome to the show. We are going to end in a minute though, but welcome. Thank you for the coffee as well. Really, really appreciate that, my man. Listen, guys, girls, I am going to be back at 4:15. We'll do the Brentford Man City watch along. If anyone wants to join in, always more relaxed when it's not my own club. By the way, please, people, stop messaging me saying, why am I doing content about other clubs? I love football, right? I want to do content about all football, all right? You all know I'm a Spurs fan, doing content about whatever I want. I'll be back for that. And then at 7:30 tonight, we have got the Spurs review. Guys, girls, thank you very much. Let me see who's live. Let's see who's live and if we can send you over to somebody. Just so that I don't monopolize, apparently. Customization. Redirect. No one's really live. What time is that show going live? Sean, go live now. I'm going to send you over. Sean doesn't start until 1, but I'll send you over there now. I'll send you over there now. Sean starts his show in about 5-6 minutes. So I'll send you all over there. Please, when you get there, just say Savva Raid. Yeah, and I do. Yeah, mate, I do. I am starting to do more and more content about other clubs. I just love football. So, guys, girls, please get over to Sean. Say Savva Raid. Much love. Take care. I'll see you at 4:15 and then 7:30. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.